Hey look, it's an Art Snacks box. Okay, not exactly. Hello and welcome back to Jenna Gets Creative. I'm doing another round of No Box Art Box, and this time I'm tackling the April 2021 Art Snacks Plus offering. As usual, I'm going to go through what was in the box and what the MSRP in US dollars would be on the menu cards. I'll also indicate which items were in both the basic and plus tiers and which are exclusive to plus, talk about what I used instead and why. In the description box, you'll find it all typed out along with the prices converted to Canadian dollars and British pounds, real-world price listings, and value versus cost calculations. Before I jump into it, I do want to give a bit of a disclaimer about the way my piece turned out. This box sent out randomized colors, but the plus box items are in themed sets, so I stuck to a theme. I picked orange. I looked for orange-colored references, and a sliced orange caught my eye. The result is not necessarily an orange. I ended up putting darker bits into the flesh of the fruit that didn't blend back out the way I wanted it to, and I knew it wouldn't as soon as I started with the darker color, but it was too late. It doesn't look like any ordinary navel orange I've ever seen, but the world of citrus fruits is actually quite vast. Who's to say which one this is? If I weren't limiting myself to matched supplies for the box, I could have stopped at the first few spots and dulled it back down with a blender pen. I could have brought in a white gel pen and pulled out highlights. I could have gone over it with colored pencil for detail, but that wouldn't be in the spirit of the challenge. Anyway, I was talking on the phone with my grandmother and refereeing between my kid and the cats and trying to get this piece done before supper time so I could jump straight into editing after. Starting again just wasn't an option. I just embraced it. If you ever get to that "oh crap, I messed up" point with your artwork and you don't have a really important reason to start again, like it's an assignment or a commission, just go with it sometimes. Make it beautiful anyway. It's art. It doesn't have to be perfect. If this is your first No Box Art Box video or your first in a while, let me explain what this challenge is. Back in 2018, when I jumped into the world of art on YouTube, I wanted to subscribe to every box out there, but I can't possibly hope to afford that, and I'm not a big enough fish to get them for free, so I started the No Box Art Box challenge. Pretend you've got any art box out there by matching the supplies as close as possible using your own supplies and try out the challenge. It's a great way to try a service before paying for it, to try them all when you can't afford it or if they don't ship to you, to try out past boxes that aren't available anymore, or just to have some fun and get inspired. Step 1, pick any art or craft subscription box service, pick a past month that already shipped, and look up the contents. Step 2, match the supplies the box sent as close as possible using items you already own. Don't go shopping specifically to match a particular box. If you're using this challenge to redo a box you actually got, don't use the exact supplies from the real box. Exact matches for any other reason are perfectly fine and might even be the reason you pick a particular box. Go for it. Step 3, make art and have fun. If the original box had a challenge prompt or theme, try to stick to it. Only add missing essentials such as a pencil or a piece of paper. Feel free to do this challenge for absolutely any box out there, not necessarily just this one or the ones I've done in the past, and share your art using the hashtag NoBoxArtBox. Feel free to leave me a link as well. I do curate a master playlist here on YouTube for the challenge, and I'd love to feature your challenge videos in it. And before I jump into the box contents, I'd like to give a quick reminder that I have 2 big giveaways coming up. The Let's Get Jenna Monetized giveaway will open for entries when I'm eligible to monetize this channel, which at this point means raising my 12-month watch hours total by about 670 hours, which seems like a lot, but I put out a minimum of 3 videos a week, and the book videos are usually at least 15 minutes long, so really what I need is a couple dozen more regular viewers, and we'll get there in no time. The prize for that is a small original artwork, plus a winner's choice of the box of art supplies I've been setting aside to give away, my duplicate fantasy genre novels, or a custom book depository order. The second giveaway coming up is the Let's Get Jenna to 2K giveaway, and that's here to help the other giveaway happen sooner. I certainly hope the almost 700 new subscribers I'll gain by the time we get there will result in 20 to 30 new regular viewers. Really though, if every new subscriber between now and 2000 watched 1 hour worth of my videos, we'd reach both goals at the same time. That's not 1 hour multiple times, that's just each new subscriber adding 1 hour total watch time to my channel beyond what my regular viewers are already doing. The finish line is in sight. Like, comment, and share to help it happen. I'm rambling. The prize for the 2K giveaway will be winner's choice of an Amazon gift card or a book depository order. Details and prize values in the case of the gift cards and orders are in the description box down below. You do have to be 14 plus, actively subscribed to this channel, and willing and able to provide a mailing address if you win. Moving on, finally, to the supplies the real Art Snacks box sent and the items I've matched for them. Everybody got a Pentel Arts color brush pen, and I will show you one that I own on screen first. The box sent out gray or sepia, and I only have black, so I didn't use this exact product, but I do own one and I absolutely love it. This gets reached for and used most out of all the other tools in my miscellaneous water-based markers box. This is ink in what is essentially a water brush pen paintbrush, except it comes preloaded with ink in the barrel instead. Often this sort of product is filled with watercolor ink that reactivates, but these are fairly permanent once dry, similar to the Cambio pens, so I suspect they're Indian ink based. These have an MSRP of $8.39 US. No, they are not cheap, but I do happen to know you can buy the filled barrels without the brush tip end when you run out, and that's significantly cheaper. You could also put your own ink in it. In its place, embracing the dark gray tone of the pen actually shown in the official Art Snacks YouTube channel unboxing video, I went with my Kuretake Zig Clean Color Dot Pen. One end is similar to a Micron PN or a Tombow Fudenosuke, and the other is a squishy, perfectly round felt nib. The nibs don't really match all that well, and I considered one of my gray Marabou Graphics water-based markers, but I rarely end up using this pen, and I like this particular shade. The next item everybody got was a Kuretake Zig Coco Iro letter pen, and this is a black ink pen in a semi-rigid felt brush nib. You can bend it a little for calligraphy, or you can easily control the tip and get precise fine lines. They retail for $7 US. I considered using one of my Tombow pens, but then I figured it would be cool to keep within the brand since I do have that option, and I went with my Kuretake Zig Writer for Vellum pen. This has a PN type nib on one end and a generously sized felt bullet nib on the other end, but to mimic the Coco Iro, I only used the PN nib. I realized now, hours later, when I went back to my desk to grab the names of what I used, that I actually have another Kuretake pen in my arsenal that has the same sort of fairly firm brush nib on two ends. And it's black ink on one end and dark gray on the other. I could have used that pen to replace both supplies. Whoops, didn't see that one, missed a great opportunity. Next is a Tombow ABT alcohol-based marker, and I am showing you one for real because I got the special release Art Snacks X Tombow collab box last spring when these were a new product. These are alcohol-based ink in a classic narrow Tombow marker barrel, exactly the same as their water-based markers and their dual-ended Fudenosuke pen. It has a brush nib and a chisel nib, and I believe the color range is supposed to match with their other products, but I could be wrong on that. Open stock, these retail for $5.99 US, which is in the range of a Copic Sketch or Copic Classic, and I'm still a little salty about that because not only is Tombow expecting you to replace the whole marker, rather than just sell you refill inks, I would be surprised if these skinny little barrels have as much ink as a Copic Chow. They also don't blend the same as Copics. It's like trying to blend Sharpies. It's funny actually, the artist in the official unboxing video was blaming himself, user error, and the fact that he wasn't used to the paper type. He was completely giving the markers the benefit of the doubt and assuming the fact that they weren't easily blending was his fault, not the markers. But I really don't hear many people saying these blend nicely, and I've never found them to blend nicely. Not with other Tombow ABT markers and not with other brands. But anyway, I won't take up half the video's runtime talking about these markers. Go check out my unboxing and review on these markers if you actually want all those opinions. By the way, the color sent out in the real boxes was randomized. The official unboxing video had a red. That box's plus items were also red, and I don't know if they intentionally matched colors in the plus boxes or if that was coincidence. But Art Snacks typically doesn't care about matching. It's one of the cons to that service. The items don't necessarily go together. I will comment more about my color choice when I get to the plus items. The final item that everyone got was a Pentel Graph Gear 300 mechanical pencil in the 0.7mm lead size, and that has an MSRP of $4.99 US. I genuinely prefer 0.7mm mechanical pencils all through school, but when it came to sketching, I always reached for traditional pencils. I have to believe it's for that reason that the universe decided to have some fun with me, but every single time an art box has sent me a mechanical pencil, regardless of whether or not the size was random or everyone got the same size, I have only ever received artist quality mechanical pencils in 0.5mm. I caved and ordered my preferred leads in that size about 2 years ago. So today I'm using the closest thing I have, which is a Pentel Orenz mechanical pencil in 0.5mm. The lead softness for the actual box was not specified in the unboxing video, and I haven't found legible photos of the actual card to read it and see if it said, but mine is either currently stocked with good old HB if this particular pencil is still sporting the leads it came with, or 2H if I refilled it. Moving on to the Plus exclusive items, they quintupled down, or I guess sextupled down, on the ABT markers and sent 5 more. The assorted tonal family 5 packs were sent. These packs have an MSRP of $29.99 US. The official unboxing video had the pink tone set, which ranges from a soft pink up to a very heavy, deep red. I was going to replicate that selection because the red ABT marker I actually have is the darkest shade. None of my other ABT markers are exact matches for the 5 sets, but I don't have enough variety pink/red family alcohol markers to duplicate the gradient in that particular 5 set, and also have that matching red as my 6th open stock marker. So I went with my yellows and picked the orange tone set. I'm matching this set with a mix of Copic, Spectrum Noir, and Sketchbox signature markers. I used Copic Y21 Buttercup Yellow, Copic Y15 Pumpkin Yellow, Sketchbox signature YR15 Tangerine, Copic YR09 Chinese Orange, and Spectrum Noir Illustrator B03 Amber. Considering Copic Chows and pretty much everything Spectrum Noir sells are cheaper than the ABT markers, I'd say my version works out cheaper even though it's 60% Copic and actually blends. By the way, that's a longer video, just under 5 minutes. Bunch of kids doing a rap battle parody. It's hilarious, go watch it. Look for the rap battle parody and you'll find it. If you're familiar with Art Snacks Plus, you know they always send out a full-size substrate item, and this box is no different. Plus subscribers got a full A4 size 75 sheet pad of Marabou Graphics marker paper. It's 75 GSM coated cellulose paper, pretty much exactly like every other thin coated marker paper out there, and the full-size A4 pad has an MSRP of $24.99 US. I went with my tried and true Transotype bleed-proof marker pad. If you order this sort of thin coated marker paper with Copic branding, you'll get exactly this pad, just with Copic's name on it instead of Transotype. They don't even change the colors on the cover, it's the same pad paper. Mine is 70 GSM and it has 50 sheets. I usually cut it in half like I have for today's video, so these pads last me a very long time. After today's piece, I still have 4 sheets left in the pad, and I bought this in fall of 2018. I ordered my next pad of this stuff in 2019 and I still haven't taken the plastic wrap off it yet. I'm sure if this was the only paper I used for markers it would go faster, especially if I always used a full sheet, but sometimes I prefer something heavier. With these types of paper, what's interesting and important to note is that the coating they're referring to is on the back of the page. So you're not coloring on top of the coating. The coating is on the reverse side to prevent bleeding through the sheet to the sheets underneath it. If you've ever had these sheets loose or torn a page out of a pad and then got mixed up, you might have had the unfortunate experience of accidentally drawing on the coated side. Weird things happen. The colors are muted, nothing blends right, and everything feathers. Whenever I cut these sheets down, I always make a light pencil mark on the front side first, so I know which side to work with when I go to use the other half in the future. This type of paper is also called layout paper or drafting paper because of how thin, perfectly smooth, and pH neutral it is. It was originally designed for architectural drafting, product design, that sort of work. Not all papers called layout paper will be coated for alcohol markers, so watch out for that. You'll also see much thinner papers that you might want to call tracing paper labeled layout or drafting. They might even be called drafting film when they're that thin. Not the same thing, though I have heard vellum drafting film is surprisingly good for colored pencil. I also wanted to explain my choice to tape down the paper to another sheet of paper. It's on top of another white surface because since this is so thin, once it's wet with ink, it temporarily gets a little transparent. And I don't want to be seeing the blue color and grid pattern of my cutting mat through the colors I'm trying to blend. I chose to tape because I wanted to preserve a precise border. There's no extra benefit to taping this paper to the one underneath it rather than making my border as wide as the tape and not having it stick to anything else. I just wanted a thinner border. But by making it easy to turn both sheets instead of spinning the thin sheet on top of the thicker sheet, I do minimize the risk of accidentally creasing this super thin, delicate paper. So what do I think of this supply combination? Kind of on the fence. Honestly, I'm glad I didn't get the real April Art Snacks box or the real February Scrawler box, because unless Tombow themselves pick me as an ambassador and start sending me free stuff, in which case I will make whatever they send work its butt off, I don't particularly want more ABT markers. I was really excited when Tombow announced alcohol markers. I love their products in general and I had high hopes, but this is just Sharpies with an artist quality brush nib, priced to match Copics. There are absolutely uses for these markers, artistic ones, but without Copic-like ease of blending, they just don't fit my style. And the apparent amount of product for the price doesn't add up. With that said, I love the color gradient sets. That's something Copic used to do in 3-packs, but I haven't seen them in a long time, and 5 is obviously a better blending set than 3. I do like the idea of adding a gray for shading, but I don't think going with water-based was a good idea. This made my alcohol nibs messy when I went over it, and I had to scribble them clean, which is a waste of their ink. I do think the black pen was a great addition, but I really didn't end up having much use for it with the piece I ended up doing. I put an outline on the fruit just to use it in the artwork rather than just for my signature, but my piece didn't end up needing black. A pencil is always a great tool, but I've been almost exclusively using colored leads under my marker and watercolor lately because it blends better, and I don't like the graphite lines I can see on this finished piece. Pilot makes great colored lead mechanical pencils, so I'd love to see these boxes start sending those when they do alcohol marker boxes instead. If you're looking for more to watch, I've got some suggestions up on the left side of the screen now. Don't forget to like, comment, maybe even subscribe, and if you like living life creatively, whatever that means to you, I'd love to have you along for the ride. Bye guys!